Okay, welcome to your sixth HTML and CSS tutorial. Yes, that's the sixth tutorial. I gotta keep track. I got a lot more tutorials to go. Okay, in this tutorial, we will be covering formatting text using keywords, percentages, and IMs. Okay, so let's create a paragraph element, and within the paragraph, let's put some text. This is some text in the paragraph element. Okay, Control S to save, and let's preview this in the browser. Okay, that here we have the text. This is some text in the paragraph element. Now, the usual way you would think to increase or decrease the size of this text here would be to use pixels. So we could make a reference to the paragraph element. Okay, and then we could say font size. Let's call it 32 pixels. Okay, Control S, and let's preview this in the browser. As we can see here, the size of the text has been increased to 32 pixels. However, there are other ways to play with the size of the text on the page. The first way we could work with is the keywords. Okay, so we could say, let's Control S and save, and let's put this back to its original size. Okay, now we could reference the paragraph again, and we could say using keywords we could increase or decrease the size of the text. So we could say font size. We could say large. Control S to save. Preview this. And as you can see here, it has increased a tad bit. Okay, we could also say extra large by saying X-large. Control S to save. It has changed. The size of the text has increased as well. Or we could say XX large, which is really large. Control S to save and preview this. As you can see here, it has been increased. Okay, we could also say let's say we could say small. Control S to save. Or we could say X small. Control S. Right? Or we could say XX small. Control S. Okay, so that's basically using the keywords to increase or decrease the size of the text. We could also use percentages. Control S. Let's bring this back to its original size. Now, with percentages, the 100% is this right here. Is the normal size of the text. That is 100%. However, we could say font size. Let's say 50%. So it's going to be half of this normal size. Control S to save. Preview this. Okay, it's 50%. Okay, we can also say, let's call it 10%, which is going to be really small. 10%. Okay, as you can see here, it's been increased to 10%. Or we could go really big, and we could say 150%. Control S to save, and we could say 150%. Or we could say 400%, which is 400% of the normal size. Or we could say 400%. 400%, as you see here, 400% of the normal size. Okay, that is using percentages. Now we could also use EMS, which is EMS. Okay, now EMS is basically the same as percentages. Okay, but it's a traditional word used. I think it's used in a traditional typography. But however, it's also used in web development as well. Okay, so we could say, but now, first of all, 1% refers to 100%, which is the normal size of the text. So we could say font size 1 EM. Okay, Control S to save, and it will be the exact same thing. It will not change. Okay, because 1% refers to 100% of the page, which is 100%, which is the normal size of the text here. Okay, if we go down to 0.5%, 0.5%, then it's going to be 50%. The text is going to be 50% of its original size, which is right here, 50%. Okay, or we could go to let's say 75%, 0.75. It's going to be 75% of its original size, which is this right here. Or we could go to 2 EM, which is going to be 200% of its original size. Control S. As you can see here, the text is 200% of its original size, or we could go 3EM. Control S to save, which is 300% of its normal size, or we could go 4EM. Control S to save, which is 400% of its normal size. So basically, we have gone over 3 different ways, well, actually 4 different ways to increase or decrease the size of the text. We have used pixels, we also use keywords, we also use percentages, and we use ems, EM, to represent the size of text on the page. Okay, so this is your 6th HTML and CSS tutorial. Thank you for watching this tutorial, and do ensure that you view additional tutorials and ensure that you subscribe. Thank you.